Good morning, guys. Lab 3, we are going to learn about Lab 3. Lab 3 is reciprocating compressor and centrifugal compressor. This is Lab 3. So first we will discuss a reciprocating compressor. Before that, what is a compressor? Compressor is a device for increasing the pressure of gas, and after increasing the pressure either by using a piston or by using a centrifugal action, and then it is stored in a tank. From there it goes to different purposes. So that is the function of a compressor. And today we will discuss first a centrifugal reciprocating compressor. Reciprocating means piston compressor, because reciprocating, its action is by using a piston, linear action. So this is a simple reciprocating compressor, two cylinder reciprocating compressor. So here the important parts are, this is the cylinder head, and this is a cylinder, two cylinder, and you can see here fins. The fins is actually for increasing the heating area, surface area to remove the heat. And this is the crankcase. This is a crankcase, and you can see here, this is the valves, inlet valve, suction valve, inlet valve, and two inlet valves for two pistons and two discharge valves. These are the important parts of the here. And then you can see this is the crankshaft. So we'll open here because we already opened before to show you. This is the crankshaft, and this is the cover for the crankshaft. And there will be a bearing here. This is the bearing here, and then there is the shaft, and this is the crankshaft. And there will be oil seal and everything will be here. This is oil seal somewhere here, and there's a gasket also here to prevent leak. In both sides there is, and here also there's a cover. And this is the to check the level of the lubricating oil, because we put lubricating oil when the compressor work. Lot of lubrication is required to lubricate the internal parts like the crankshaft, piston, and the piston rod, connecting rod, and the bearings. That is why we need a lot of lubrication. These are the important parts. So you can see here, these are two cylinders I told you, and when you rotate you can see this is the piston. This is one piston here, and also there will be piston rings also here. Piston rings. This piston rings, top ring is called the compression ring, to prevent any gas leak from top to bottom. And there will be oil ring at the bottom. That oil ring is for lubricating the cylinder walls, and also to prevent any oil going up to from the crankcase to the cylinder head. That is what the function of these piston rings. And that's about this reciprocating compressor. And we'll see more details about the reciprocating compressor in the next device. Thank you. Yes, in continuation of the compressor, we have seen the reciprocating compressor just now. Reciprocating double cylinder, two cylinder, and this is slightly different. That is the single acting, because only one side of the piston, the gas is compressed, gas or air is compressed. Here double acting. The meaning of double acting means both sides of the piston are used for compression, suction and compression. So here you can see two suction valves. This is one suction valve here, one valve here, one valve here, and this is one discharge valve, and from here it is going to the outside. So see, when this is rotating here, so now the suction comes here, the gas is coming here, or gas or air is coming here, and after some time then here also the compression takes place, this side also. And after some time, so you can see this is going in, and this suction, this is gas is coming from here, and it is pushing the piston this side, and this gas will be compressed here. And from here, when it is compressed, the compressed gas or air is going out from this side. Same thing here also. See, then suction here, the same time compression takes place this side, other side of the piston. And then when it is compressed, the gas escapes through this. That's why I called it double acting. Both sides of the piston both piston are used for suction as well as discharge, compression and suction and compression, and that's why it's called double acting. The important parts are here. You can see this is the piston, and this is called a piston rod, and then you can see the piston rod, and this is called a crosshead, and then this is the connecting rod, and this is the crankshaft, connecting rod, crosshead, piston rod, and piston. So the function of piston rod is to connect the connecting rod with the piston, and the crosshead will connect the piston rod with the connecting rod, and this is the crankshaft. So when piston rotates, so the crankshaft will change to rotary motion. And this is the crankcase where the oil will be there for lubricating the bearings here. This is one crankshaft bearing here, and here also bearings, and this part need to be lubricated. So these are the important parts of the double acting. So double acting means both sides of the piston are used for suction as well as discharge. That's about double acting. Very important this thing, and you must know the difference between single acting and double acting. So double acting always will give more pressure, and single acting better than single acting, and the one which we saw just now. Thank you. So this is another two-cylinder reciprocating air compressor with the intercooler. So you can see here two cylinders, and two air filters to filter the air coming to the cylinder. Otherwise, dust will affect the performance. And these are the fins. Fins are for removing the heat from the for cooling the cylinder block. Otherwise, not radiator here, but prevent just like a bike. This is called a fins. And you can see in between this there is an intercooler. Intercooler is to increase the volumetric efficiency of the compressor by cooling the compressed air. And you can see here the one cylinder is this is air is sucked through the air filter to the cylinder, compressed, and then it here also air is compressed through the sucked through the air filter, and it is compressed in this cylinder, and then it goes here. Both air compressed air is coming here to the intercooler, and the intercooler again it cools the air. By cooling the air, the volumetric efficiency of the compressor can be increased, and the cooled air, the air will go through the, here you can see here, this is the outlet to the tank for storing the air to the tank. So here one cylinder, both cylinder will compress the air, and it comes to the intercooler. From there it goes to the tank. And this is the crankcase, this is a crankshaft. So also this is a crankshaft, and there will be bearing here. The other side also bearing to hold the crankshaft, and inside the crankcase there will be oil, lubricating oil for lubricating. This is another type of air compressor. Okay, thank you. This is about the maintenance of a reciprocating air compressor. Maintenance we'll discuss, because rotating equipments need to be maintained properly, otherwise there is chance for breakdown. To prevent breakdown, we need to do maintenance. So here, first of all, this is a two-cylinder reciprocating piston compressor. So this is called a LP cylinder. LP means low pressure cylinder, and it's called a high pressure cylinder. So the air is sucked through the air filter here, is suction here. Where the black one is the air filter, and through the air filter, and the air is sucked here, and after sucked here it is compressed, and that is called in the low pressure cylinder. After then it is compressed, and the compressed air goes through the intercooler. This is called intercooler, and through the intercooler it goes to the high pressure cylinder. The high pressure cylinder again it is compressed. Then the pressure of the air becomes high, more than the pressure of the low pressure cylinder. And at the same time, the function of intercooler is to cool the air, so that if you cool, you will get a more compression, and you can increase the pressure also. That's why intercooler. It will increase the volumetric efficiency of the compressor. That's why intercooler. And from the high pressure cylinder, it goes to the tank here. This is called the air tanker or air receiver. Another name is air receiver or air tank, to collect the tank. So here, this is the air filter. This is low pressure cylinder. This is the intercooler. This is the high pressure cylinder, and this is the air tank or air receiver. And there is a safety valve here, because this is a reciprocating compressor, means there is a positive displacement compressor, positive displacement. So in positive displacement pump, definitely they should have if the pressure exceeds a particular limit of the rated pressure, definitely it should release the excess pressure. That's why safety valve is here. And this device is actually for setting the safety valve, and this is done by the authorized people, not by the college or heat technician here. And it is after setting the pressure for a particular level limit, then they will seal here and also seal here. There is, you can see seal here, and also this will be sealed here, also sealed. This is sealed. And this is the electrical switch. Electrical switch for the operating the motor. This is the motor, driver motor, and it's a driver motor. And this is the pressure gauge. The pressure is increased when it is started, and this is the pressure gauge. And then you can see this is the driver pulley here. Driver pulley is here, and then there is a driven pulley is there to run the reciprocating compressor. Pulley this side. You can see the driven pulley. This driven pulley is bigger than the driver pulley. Why? Because the speed is reduced. Here the speed is high. The motor speed is high, and that speed is not required to run the compressor. That is why the pulley is the bigger pulley. Bigger pulley means speed reduction, and this pulley, driver pulley and driven pulley, are connected by means of a belt. Here you can see inside is called the guard. Is a machine guard, and here there is a pulley. This pulley is called the belt is called the V belt. The V belt which we saw in the previous lab. So this V belt is connected between the driver pulley and driven pulley, so that when the motor started, this driver pulley will rotate and the power is transferred, the motion is transferred to the driven pulley, so that the compressor will work and it will reciprocate. And there will be crankshaft. This is called a crankcase, and inside the crankcase there will be crankshaft is there, piston rod, every cylinder, everything is there, and these are called fins for cooling purpose. Now coming to here, this is the air outlet. Air going out. And there will be chance for moisture here. To remove the moisture, there is another valve also here. This valve will remove the moisture from the tank, because there is possibility of moisture inside the tank when it is compressed. So you can see from this side, you can see this is the driven pulley and driver pulley, and this is the machine guard. Why machine guard? To prevent any person, any technician or any other person, he put his hand inside, possibility of cutting his fingers because he's rotating, and that's why this machine guard is to protect the person working on the machine. And this is the switch for the power to run the machine. And also here the capacity of the compressor is written here. This is the capacity 220 liters. The tank has got a 220 liters, and also it is manufactured by LG. And here the maximum working pressure is 12 kilogram. So 12 kilogram pressure, when it becomes 12.1, automatically the safety valve will release the air. And a maximum test pressure, because test pressure will be always high, 1.5 times. That's why 19.8 kilogram force per centimeter square is the test pressure. It can test up to that much. Why? As a factor of safety, we give more pressure. And cutoff pressure is after starting become 12 kilogram force per centimeter square. And if you release air, when become 9, automatically it will stop. And again, after some time, it will start again. That is the cutoff. Cutoff pressure is not here. When we start, actually wait for half an hour. When it becomes 12 and come down 9, it will start again. That is why it is called the cutoff pressure. Cutoff pressure is not here. This is made in LG equipment, India, Coimbatore, India. This machine. This is one of the good examples of. So what are the maintenance we do? We check. The important thing is we'll check the outer parts, or any damage on the outer body, and also check the gasket here. There's a gasket here. There's a gasket here, and the pipe connections. So we check. And also whether the safety valve is working properly by running the machine and make it 12 kilogram force per centimeter square. When it becomes 12 kilogram force per centimeter square, the motor must stop. The machine should stop. And if it doesn't stop, means something wrong with the safety valve. Then you need to set the safety valve. And also, if it stops at 12 kilogram force per centimeter square, then you release the air. And when the pressure becomes 9, automatically it should start again. That means this is working perfectly. That is the cutoff pressure. So cut in and cut off. That is the two pressures. And now another thing is check the electrical cables, any loose or any damage. You also check, and also machine guard fixed properly. Then check here the oil pressure here. You can see here oil level. You can see the side glass. This is the oil level. It should be always above 50%. That is very important. If it is more than 50%, okay, that means the crankcase that's got enough oil for run the machine. And also check the belt. You must remove the machine guard and take it out and check the pulley, and also check the belt, any crack, where the belt is loose, like we did last lab. We check the deflection of the belt, and also we'll check the glue of the belt, and those things we should check. And the tank also check any problem. These are the important things which we need to check. And that's about this lab. So we will start now the compressor. So we have to wait for maybe 10 minutes to see whether at 12 cm square the machine automatically stop. So it will, at least we needed 10-15 minutes to reach that level. So that automatically it will stop. And if you release the air, again at 9 kg force per second, it will start, automatically it will start. The cut off, the first one is cut off pressure, other one is cut in. That is the other pressure, two pressures are there. So and 19.8 is the test pressure, the giving the enough factor of safety. That's about this maintenance and the working of this one. This is a very good example of studying, learning a reciprocating air compressor. So here this is the LP cylinder, HP cylinder, and from LP cylinder the goes to the intercooler to the high pressure cylinder, then it goes to the tank for collecting the tank air. So that's about this air compressor. Thank you, and hope you understand. And if you have any doubt about the Zoom meeting, you can ask doubts. Thank you. This compressors which we discussed, the first one and the second one and third one just now, these are all called positive displacement compressors. Positive displacement means every displacement there's a fixed amount of air is compressed, thrown out, and that's why it needs safety valve. In all those air compressors, they need safety valve for protection. This is called a centrifugal compressor. Centrifugal compressor is not positive. It is called a dynamic compressor. It is called dynamic. And dynamic compressors consist of, this is the casing, and then this is the discharge of the air or gas, and this is the suction. The air is sucked through. This is all actually closed, and there is opening here, and through the opening the air or gas will come here. And here there are two this is what we call gears, not gear actually. This is called a screws. That's why it's called centrifugal screw. One screw is called a male screw. This is called a male screw, and this is called a female screw. Male and female screws. And here you can see male screw and female screw. And when this is rotated, see, when it's rotated, this screw will rotate, and the air sucked here is trapped inside through the between the gaps of the screws will compress, and the compressed gas will escape through the side. That is how it works. So here both ends there will be bearings are here, and there will be seals also, high pressure seal, mechanical seal is there to prevent any leakage. And then there will be driver here. This is the driver will be here, driver motor will be here, electric motor will be here to drive the male screw, so that when the male screw rotates, automatically this it will rotate the other also female screw. Same time air is sucked through the suction side, and it is compressed between the gaps of the screws, and then compressed air will discharge from the outlet, this outlet, to the tank or wherever you need. That is how it works. It's called dynamic compressor. Centrifugal compressor, centrifugal action, because it is not like a piston. Centrifugal action of the two screws. That is why it's called a centrifugal compressor. Okay, thank you. This is dynamic compressor. Thank you.